Hi there, friends. It's Miss Tiffany from the Butler Area Public Library, and I am here with our very first session of Mindful Monday Moments. Each Monday in May, I will be posting videos all about mindfulness. We'll talk about what mindfulness is, we'll talk about why it's important for children to practice mindfulness, and I will teach you a couple of mindfulness techniques. To start off with, let's talk about what is mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply the practice of being present in the now. Often we worry about things that may have happened in the past, or we may worry about things that may happen in the future. We don't always stay present in the now, which doesn't allow us to experience all of the wonderful things around us. So, mindfulness is really just a set of techniques that you can use either as adults or as children to help keep you grounded and present in the now. Mindfulness practices for children can be really helpful. It can teach children how to increase their focus. When you're doing mindfulness practices, you're focusing on the now, and it helps children learn to quiet those other noises in their mind and focus on whatever task is at hand. That's definitely something that comes in helpful in the classroom, which leads to the second reason why mindfulness can be helpful for children. It can help them increase their academic performance. By learning how to self-regulate, focus, and interact with others, children can have an overall better classroom experience. And finally, probably the most important reason, I think, is that children who practice mindfulness will see decreased levels of stress. It's been a really rough couple of years, especially for our little ones. So, mindfulness practices may help children decrease depression, anxiety. It may calm some of their disruptive behaviors. All in all, mindfulness can be very beneficial for children. So, that's what mindfulness is and why we might want to practice it with children. Now, I'm going to teach you a couple of mindfulness techniques. These particular techniques are really good to use when you're starting your day or when you're transitioning between two different types of activities. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is breathing. Breathing is really fundamental to mindfulness because you do focus a lot on your breathing to bring you to the present. So, to begin our mindful breathing, first of all, we want to make sure that we are sitting mindfully. That means if we're sitting in a chair, we want to make sure that both of our feet are planted on the ground and that our spine is straight and the rest of our body is relaxed. If we are sitting on the floor, we want to make sure that our legs are stretched out in front of us and our spine is straight, and again, our body is relaxed. To do mindful breathing, all we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. So you just breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And we're going to continue this pattern of in through the nose and out through the mouth. As I ask you a few questions to keep in mind. When you're breathing in, what does the air feel like? Does it feel cool? Can you feel it in your nose? Can you hear yourself breathing? Does it sound different when you breathe in than when you breathe out? So we keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And now I want you to pay attention to your lungs. Can you feel the air filling your lungs as you breathe it in? Do you feel movement in your chest when you breathe in? Do you feel your rib cage expand as you breathe in? How does it feel when you breathe out? Now I want you to pay attention to your belly. What happens to your belly while you're breathing? When you breathe in, does your belly expand? When you breathe out, does it get flatter? Think of a balloon. You breathe in, the balloon inflates, and you breathe out, and that air escapes. So mindful breathing is an exercise that you can do for a few moments every day, whether it's when you wake up or when you're moving from one activity to another. It can also be done in moments of frustration or stress to help you refocus. Remember, we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And all you do is you pay attention to your breath as you're breathing. When you're doing mindful breathing, you may feel your thoughts start to drift, and that is okay. Just gently guide those thoughts back to your breath. Just start asking yourself those questions. What does it feel like in your nose? What does it feel like in your lungs? What does it feel like in your belly? You'll find that after you've done a few minutes of mindful breathing, you feel a lot more focused and ready to tackle the next task at hand. The second exercise that I would like to teach you is called the reflection pond. So once again, we're going to make sure that we are sitting mindfully. That means that if we are in a chair, our feet are planted on the ground, we sit up straight, and our body is relaxed. If we're sitting on the floor, we have our legs stretched out in front of us, sitting up straight, and making sure our body is relaxed. So we're going to start off with some of those mindful breaths again. Remember, in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes as you're doing your next set of mindful breaths. Now, keeping your eyes closed, I would like you to imagine that you are in a forest. You can see the trees in front of you. You might hear the wind whispering through the leaves of the trees. You might hear birds chirping or see animals in the forest. Now imagine that there is a small pond in the forest with you. Pretend that you walk up to that pond and you take a look at the surface of the pond. When you look at the surface of the pond, you see a reflection of what is around you. You might see the trees. You might see the animals. You might even see your own face reflected in the pond. What do you see when you look in your pond? Now I want you to pretend that you pick up a pebble and you throw it in the pond. What happens when you throw the pebble in the pond? You start to see ripples. They start from the place that the pebble hit, and they move outward in rings. The further those rings spread outward, the more gently the ripples move. And then finally, the ripples have ended and the surface of the pond is smooth again. Keep looking at the surface of the pond and noticing the reflection for as long as you like. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes again. So this is a good exercise to use anytime you feel like you need to come back to a place of peace and calm and reflect on the things that are going on right now. Friends, I hope you have enjoyed these mindful moments, and I hope that you will join me again next week for our next installment of Mindful Monday Moments. Thank you so much. Have a peaceful day.